Hey there, Mustangs, and welcome to the 7th Celebration of Knowledge activity, also known as the RISE test. You've done some great work this week. This is the third day we've been working on the Math RISE test, and today many of you will be completing the second part of that and submitting it. Now remember, when you get to that point, you must have your proctor teacher next to you, and they will help facilitate you submitting that test. Don't do it without them there. They also have a chart that has the scores that you received on this test the last 3 years. Remember, you're shooting for a personal best, and your proctor teacher can help remind you what your score was last year, and that's what you're trying to beat. Teachers, we also ask that you make sure you write down the scores as they come in on your red and green charts so that we can keep track of those. But students, we want you to keep pushing the way you have. We've been so impressed as we've been proctoring the test to see your efforts. Keep using that scratch paper. Keep using your TI-73 graphing calculator. Double check your work. Best way to double check your work is to actually turn your paper over, a clean sheet of scratch paper, and rework the problems. Compare your first answer to your second answer. That way you know if you really got them right. With all of our tests, we ask you to remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor. Keep your arms, legs, and head within the desk at all times. Do your best to show how smart you are, and enjoy the ride. Thank you, Mustangs.
You should have found a stick of peppermint gum at your testing station. Please enjoy this refreshing treat as long as you are actively doing the test or reviewing your questions. Please make sure you keep your wrapper close. When you are finished and have decided you're ready to submit and have double-checked everything, you will be asked to wrap your gum back up in the cellophane and throw it away in the garbage that will be brought to you.
Your M-Games personal training chart tracks your work on 4 important things: being on time, thoroughly using your scratch paper, bringing a book and reading quietly when finished, completing and double-checking your answers. At the conclusion of today's session, your proctor will stamp your card for as many of those categories as your proctor feels you earned today. For every stamp you earn, your name will be entered into the prize drawing at the end of the 4 weeks. Keep track of your card.
Also, your proctor may silently reward you with a mystery motivating ticket during today's testing session. If he or she notices you are doing any of the appropriate testing strategies, such as using your scratch paper or double checking your answers, they will remain silent as they hand you a card. Don't ask them what the ticket for is at the time. Bring it to lunch today, it'll get scanned, and you'll redeem it for a prize.
During testing, all cell phones should have been kept in your locker or in the cell phone patch in the room. If it's still on you or with you, please make sure to put it in the pouch at this time.
Please remain seated during the test. If you need assistance, raise your hand and the proctor will come to you. Keep in mind, the proctor cannot help you solve or say any of the questions on your test.
As always, use your scratch paper to figure out the answers on the test. Writing down your thinking will always help you do your best. Don't forget to use the dictionary, earbuds, calculator, and other tools given to you as well.
Stop! Make sure you do not submit your test without your proctor standing next to you. When you are finished with your test and decide you are ready to submit, please raise your hand and the proctor will help you. They also will remind you what your score on the last test for previous years was so you can beat your score for your own personal best.
Once you have finished, you will need to sit quietly and read a book. No other activities can be done at this time. You absolutely cannot disrupt other test takers in the room. For this reason, we recommend you take your time and don't rush through the test. There is nowhere else to go once you're done. Bye.